My name is Alana Roby, and I've been living out of this 2006 Honda Accord for over 2 years now. But I'm not the first Roby in the family who decided to live a little bit of a different life. Welcome to the Roby Cave, here on the banks of the James River in the state of Virginia. Completed in 1979 by my grandpa Larry Roby, I might be biased, but it is now one of the coolest Airbnbs here in the state of Virginia, and I will tell you a little bit more about how you can stay here later on in the video. But first, I want to tell you a little bit more about this place. My grandpa Larry actually got the crazy idea to build a house into the hillside from an issue of the Mother Earth magazine way back when. That is still in publication today. The Roby Cave was actually the first underground house built in the entire state of Virginia, which I think is pretty cool. And people nicknamed my grandpa Larry a mole or the groundhog by the local people because he was that crazy man who was building a house underground on his piece of land. But my grandpa didn't really seem to mind people thinking that he was crazy because he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to build a house into the hillside. And I mean, there's lots of different advantages to having an Earth-style home like this. I mean, it's eco-efficient, you have better temperature control, noise reduction from the earth surrounding the house, as well as protection from natural disasters. I mean, my uncle tells me that there's a tornado that came through here one time, and the house is just fine. The trees, not so lucky. The Roby Cave was basically your entire house in an underground shelter. But then, after retiring, my grandpa Larry started going up to Alaska and other various places as a hunting guide. And I'm not quite sure how many years he did this in total, but he did it basically until his health wouldn't let him anymore. I really haven't spent that much time of my life out here at the Roby Cave. I mean, my family is from Arizona. My dad, the Roby of my family, moved out to Arizona when he was very young, and so he didn't really have an association with this place. And the last time I was here, I was 7 or 8 years old. And I have some photos of that, so I'll insert them here, but it's kind of cute to look back and think, like, even though my part of the family grew up on the opposite side of the country, there's still very obvious, like, personality traits that are genetic and have been passed down even without very much contact. I mean, my dad, Randy Roby, wasn't very close to his dad, and so it's not like I knew all of this about my grandpa and him going guiding and stuff until I came back now at 25 after he passed away last year. And part of me really wishes that I'd come back sooner and gotten to hear all of these amazing stories from him personally, especially because after my dad died in 2012, I was the only Roby on the entire West Coast from my family. Everybody else is out here. And so I always kind of felt like the outcast or kind of the black sheep of the family, like, different, because I wasn't like all the people that I was around. You know, like, what do you mean you're gonna go travel out of your car and work seasonal jobs and tell your stories to strangers online and make money that way? Like, what do you mean you're gonna do that? That's not what you're supposed to do. Like, why don't you go get a real job and get married and have kids? And I always just was so adamantly like, no, I'm gonna go travel and, like, go do something different and enjoy and experience my life and work these different jobs that bring me joy and, like, not settle. And now I'm like, oh, it's the Roby in me. I mean, my grandpa Larry did have that very normal life before going out and doing his guiding job, but I think it's really cool that I'm able to be living his retired life at 25. And the fact that you guys are here watching this video and, like, listening to me talk about my life and supporting me in that way is why I'm able to live this life, and I'm so grateful for that. And, like, it's because I chose to live this very different lifestyle that I was able to just come out here for a week, because technically I'm working, making this video, right? So I honestly still can't believe that I've made this my life, and I also still can't believe that I haven't shown you the inside of the house. I mean, the outside is pretty awesome, but let's go take a tour of the inside of the house while I tell you a little bit more about how you can stay here. As you watch this tour, I want you to keep in mind, would the Roby Cave make a good location for a future grounded retreat? If you don't know, grounded retreats are my yoga retreats for car campers, and I just hosted my very first retreat last week, and it was a ton of fun. I rented a Airbnb and allowed people the option to either stay inside of the house, or for a cheaper option, they could car camp or tent camp on the property. And now that that event is over, I'm excited to start planning for the future grounded retreats, but I want your guys' input on a few things. So I've created a survey. It's linked down in the description. If you could fill it out at the end of this video, that would be greatly appreciated. And one of the things that I ask you guys about is the location of future events. So I give you multiple options. The Roby Cave is one of them. You can select multiple options because there will be multiple future events. But yeah, if you could fill out that survey at the end of this video, that would be greatly appreciated. And keep in mind, as you're watching this tour, would you attend a grounded retreat at the Roby Cave?